Peace and wellness to the family. So out here enjoying the day, getting the sunlight. Very grateful. Greatness and gratitude for sure. Want to welcome everybody that's new to the channel. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all watching the videos, sharing the videos, engaging, all that. Word. But today I want to discuss, I want to talk about something. It's a video that I seen about Earth in 2500. 2500, excuse me. Gotta get my hydration in real quick. We're gonna get into it. Video was amazing. Talking about how in the year 2500, humans were living in million populated skyscraper-like cities. Cities that they had developed on the water. Humans had become a multi-planetary species. Now, by looking at the video, they talked about a lot of different things, but as I was looking at it, a couple of different things came to mind. And one of the first things came to mind was humans, the evolution of the human consciousness, cosmic knowledge, and how there's levels and different layers to it. Because think about it. You got humans now who can't see beyond animal agriculture, planetary. They can't see beyond what's on their plate. They can't see their own thoughts. They can't develop their own thoughts to even see how the earth is being affected by human behavior every day, even more so than ever. We only have a limited time until we start suffering from climate change, climate wars, people migrating into different demographics because the weather's too bad, spontaneous tornadoes, typhoons, earthquakes. It's already happening, volcanic eruptions. So these spontaneous catastrophic events are happening on Earth due to planetary awareness and the way that the human consciousness has devolved so much to where AI is now taking over, and it's intimidating to some folk. It's intimidating to some folk now because they're not able to be confident in their own thought patterns. So if something is coming along that can manipulate a thought, because the ones that are not intimidated by AI are the ones that know that AI can be used to amplify the spontaneous creation. AI is great for gathering information, but the ones that have solutions that are on genius level of thought and create solutions for the future, we know that AI will just amplify the human spontaneous creation. And this is the exciting part of it. But anyway, so back to the video. So the video was showing how we had got to this multi-planetary consciousness, this cosmic consciousness, but there's layers to the cosmic consciousness, as I was saying before. And there's one sense of cosmic consciousness is you become back to the stardust. You are able to not be sustained by the light, but the light would be the sun that's shining on the earth that we're bound to because we're earthlings and we live on earth. So we are rejuvenated by the sun and by the light. We are dependent on the light. But in the there's another level of cosmic consciousness where you actually become your own light. You become your own light. So you become, that is symbolic to you coming into the cosmic consciousness. So when you're coming into the cosmic consciousness, there's different levels to it. There's different stages to it, and there's different dimensions of consciousness when it comes to us talking about going back to the cosmic consciousness. In this video in particular, it was interesting to me because it was like that's what humankind was striving for in a way, because it showed how we had to leave Earth for Earth to heal itself. So in some point in that period, we had a realization in humanity had some sort of realization that they were going to die if they stayed on Earth, and it was because of them the reason why Earth and nature was turning on them, because of the way that they treated the Earth. So now they had to figure out a way how to escape Earth, or for a while, you should say. But that just looked like building cities. That just looked like building tower cities that skyscrape all the way up into the cosmos, from air, not even flying cars, from cities. They showed cities in the video to where they were generating. They sent satellites up into the cosmos to manipulate the sun's light to shine on different areas of the Earth so it could heal. So they had the technology. They had the technology to heal Earth, but it was going to take some centuries to heal Earth based off of what we're doing to it now, if that makes sense. So it was kind of, as far as like, animal agriculture destroying the ecosystem, the rainforest is drying up. No, we got no coral reefs and all the pollution in the ocean. And so we were coming up with solutions in that part of cosmic consciousness with humans, but we were forced to, because of all the calamity that was going on the planet. The planet needed to heal itself. So even though we had came up with the technology, or AI, to be able to reach higher levels of technology to actually heal the Earth, when we first got access to the technology, that's not what we were using it for. We neglected our connection with nature. So at some point, for us to get to 2,500, we had to have an actualization of what was really going on with planetary wellness and what we are willing to do about it, because the Earth is dying and we will die with it if we don't become a multiplanetary species. So that began to be the focus. I mean, just think about it, right? You're living on a planet where they're telling you in the next 50 to 100 years, they'll no longer be sustainable. So at this point, race, nationality, everything goes out of the door. Race, nationality, war, any disputes when it comes to that is out of the door. The whole that is what caused the human collectiveness to coming together to say, hey, we only have 50 to 100 years to sustain on this planet, though. Maybe we need to start thinking about how we can live on another planet, or saving this one, or both. I mean, that would be logical at that point. It's a shame that a certain species of existence, of species that we call humans, have to come to a point where they actually, to the point where their planet is about to literally die because of them, that they say, oh wow, let's explore other planets to see if we can find other Earth and see if we can figure out how we can heal this Earth, because we done with it. You would think before they had 50 years to live on it that they would come up with that, but they no. It's sad. It's sad. Peace to the family. It's really sad. I'm sitting up here, I'm talking about, the two layers to the cosmic consciousness. Okay, you're sustained by a light, you understand, but when you become into a cosmic consciousness, you begin to become your own light, right? That I'm thinking that I'm seeing that being symbolic to the video that I watched and then when we was in the year 2500. At some point, humankind had to come together, meditate, and decide that they wanted to become their own light, because their planet was no longer sustainable, but they knew that their planet could heal. So what were we willing to do about it? This is the only way humans was going to get to the year 2500. To pay attention to all of the calamity that was going on Earth, how we was affecting the Earth, nuclear bombs, pollution. We had to take accountability collectively as Earthlings, as humans. Race is out the window, war is out the window, nationality, all that shit don't matter no more. Only thing that matters is the climate wars and the 50 to 100 years that you got left to even live on your own planet. Think about that. But that's what it's going to take to shift the human consciousness into connecting back with nature, to understand that's the only thing that really matters. The expression of the creator, and you becoming one with the creator and not treating this like it's just going to last forever. Yet it will, without human behavior. Until we start coming to the cosmic consciousness of understanding our own behavior. Exactly. We got to take accountability for our own behavior to live on our planet for much longer. But the thing about it is the way that the human consciousness works is everything has to crumble before we actually can find a way to come together. Only way humanity is going to come together if everything crumbles, and that is including nature to a point, because the nature and earth will heal itself. Because in the video it talked about how we lived in these it was amazing. We built these million population cities on top of the oceans, and they had cities that skyscraped up into the cosmos that was populated with the millions that were on certain parts of the land, but mostly water, because you know the earth is mostly water. So most of it mostly showed a lot of cities that we had created in the year 2500 that was over the ocean, and we used the power from the ocean to fuel the cities and solar power from the sun. And we had this technology that it was just crazy. It was just amazing, man. It was wild. So like when I'm watching that, I'm like, okay, this is an era that I would probably like to live in. This is an era of human existence and human consciousness that I wouldn't be embarrassed to live in. Living in the solution. This is why people look at people now that are crazy who create solutions for the future, but they're really genius. But that's because it's backwards now, because we're living backwards, because we're going against nature. I'm gonna send you this video. Send me your email. I'm gonna send you this video. I want you to watch this video. Mind blowing on what a human consciousness was. And I was making the connection between the layers of consciousness when it comes to, when you think about, somebody saying, oh, he's came into the cosmic consciousness or the stellar gateway, the Christ consciousness, one has become their own light. And but there's another side of cosmic consciousness and cosmic knowledge to where humans have to realize and become a multi-planetary species to even allow their planet to survive, let alone them surviving as a species of humans. So that cosmic knowledge they have to come into, that's what the video showed. It showed us becoming more conscious of us finding another planet to live on, finding other habitable planets to live on, and finding a way on Earth to allow our planet to heal. Also, another thing was too, we had floating cities in orbit around Earth. So there were populations of millions of people in cities that we created and simulated, kind of like on Interstellar, that was orbiting around Earth, while to get the population or to get the virus off of Earth, which is us, so it could heal from. But the new elevated human consciousness, the evolved human being, the evolved human being that was coming into those generations of 2500, those human beings were an evolved race of human beings. So they were doing all of this so the earth can survive, so the earth can rebuild itself back up and heal itself. But we had the technology to be a multi-planetary species and go out into outer space, into deep space, to find other planets to inhabit while the earth was healing, because we had the technology to do it at that time. So the human consciousness was just totally different. You know what I'm saying? It just made me think about so many different dynamics on like that, not just the time era we living in. It made me think about human consciousness. It made me think about planetary wellness. It made me think about just like the technology, just so many different things. Yeah, email me on the website. But my email should be in my description. Supreme Wellbeing 310 at gmail.com. You should see it up there though. You can email my website too. It's amazing. I gotta send you that joint. I gotta send you that video. That's crazy. Oh, the thing about it is, that's why a lot of what has to happen, there has to be a lot of collateral damage that happen with humanity to die off for that to happen as well. We're talking about 4 centuries from now. 4 centuries from now. Another thing I thought about was how sacred I felt my bloodline is. It started by looking at theory theory influenced futuristic visuals, I got a feeling of my bloodline thriving during that time. And that's a good feeling to have. And it makes me feel good about going through and breaking the curses now, doing what I need to do, even if it doesn't seem as so. You know what I'm saying? Because I really do feel like my bloodline will be thriving during that time and be something great. It's just something sacred about my bloodline came while I was watching that video for sure. Because when you constantly are coming up with solutions that can be beneficial for the future, it can be discouraging depending on what time that you're in. Word, like straight up, nah, for real. When people, because you have your own thoughts now in this time, people look at you like you're an alien. You know, nobody has their own thoughts. This is a difference. Somebody can wake up and have a thought like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a bowl of cinnamon toast crunch this morning." Whoop-de fucking do. But then there's other people who have thoughts that actually produce something. They're producers from their thoughts. And then you get the emotionally charged thoughts, and then you get something that's we call legacy, timeless, all in the transcending of time through spontaneous creation. This is why we're not intimidated. People like us are not intimidated by AI. That's a playground for us. How can't we understand that if we're gonna play God, it's gonna unfold like God? Meaning, we read in all the holy scripts, God created man, gave man free will. What did man do with free will? But God created man, but gave man free will. What man did with free will went against God. What did man do with free will? Went against God. So if man plays God, creates an artificial intelligence that they're telling people that does not have free will, now they're saying that the AI is developing free will, able to. Of course, it's able to make free will. It's the same. You playing God. What do you think is going to happen to you? The same narrative is going to happen to you trying to play God, making a being close to or even more amplified than you know of you, being God, playing God in the image of you, and it turning on you. It turning on you. Who made it? Who created it? It's inevitable for AI to turn on man because that's exactly what man did to God, and man is playing God. So now you're gonna have to go through that same narrative and learn the lesson over and over again until you start to realize that you can't play a part that you haven't mastered. We talk about amplified creative thoughts with AI. Listen, I look at AI and I say, that can help me come up with some of the greatest solutions, transcend time, close the materialization gap of manifestation, because now I can take my creative thought to the next level through production. Not only do my ideas exist here in my vision, in my vision board, my mental vision board, now I can use AI to produce it digitally, instantly, instantaneously. Listen, it's a tricky time right now. It's a tricky time right now. You gotta pay attention. Yes, I'm a strong believer in the everlasting now and standing in the now. But nowadays, the way that you keep that balance is to create in the now and to create solutions for the future. That is the genius. Timeless. Funny you said timeless. What is the only timeless ability that mankind has? I'll wait. Spontaneous creativity. Creativity, we can capture moments, lose track of what you call time, because now your existence is immersed into a thought on a mental plane that can manipulate and change all of what you see. So that thought can take you to a place where it's timeless because of the solution is going to be legendary to the moment that you captured within your existence. So you're living in the future while using your creativity because you're coming up with a solution in the now. Because once you create a goal, you are living in the future. You become a time traveler. Once you get a creative thought, and the goal is to, goal is to materialize it, and then and it's already done, and that materialized thought or goal turns into a solution to save mankind over and over and over again for solution. It could be a mathematical equation that built these these 2 million population, humankind populations that shoot up to the cosmos. You created the formula for that and got the mathematical equation for that to even build those type of infrastructures in 2091. So now in 2091, they're going off a whole different mathematical structure by way of what's happening on the planet, how it's damaged, and how humans are going to survive. All that other Einstein E equals square shit, that shit don't even fucking matter no more. The fuck? That's crazy. That is crazy. All through creativity. Yeah. Math don't change, but it does evolve. You best believe that. Best believe that. Best believe that. Best believe that. Best believe you're gonna find a new level of math if you got to build 5 million population infrastructures that shoot up to the cosmos, to the space, who above the stratosphere. What? You dealing with a high science and a high math. You got to. That's what the human mind is really capable of, though. But right now we can't see it because it's clouded. It's too much static. There's too much of a shift going on right now. The mind is not working. The human mind is diluted. Diluted and polluted. It's not operating like it's on full capacity, bro. It ain't. It ain't operating on full capacity, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like what Yaki be saying when he say, be exactly who you say you are. That is one of the most spiritual challenge, like a straight to the point, direct spiritual slogans that I ever heard. It's very subtle because it challenges you to get closer to that mental image, that person that you know, and you say that you are. So if you say that you're that person, you got to drop certain habits. You got to stop doing certain things. You got to fully step into it. It's a spiritual challenge. What are you willing to do? Or are you still scared to become that person? For real. Nah, it was not. I ain't got my mind going, yo. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't got my mind going for real. I'm like, there's always room. Absolutely, there's always room for another answer. You know what that video made me feel like? It made me feel like I was already living in that time. That was the spooky part. That was a good feeling. Right. Fear. It was a good feeling, but at the same time, it's lonesome though when you create solutions for the future because people don't understand you now. They think you're weird. They don't get you. You're a health nut. Your frequency, you on some other type stuff. You think you better than people. You're still that same person. You don't change. All of this projection on you. Project. And because you challenge them to grow so much. You challenge them to grow so much, they don't even want you around them. It's too challenging. It's too challenging. Come on, man. Come on, man. But y'all know I ain't lying. For the ones that's on the path, y'all know I'm not y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm not cap right now. How they say I'm not cap. This is y'all know I'm keeping it all the way 100. Folk don't want to be around you. What's somebody going to invite me to the cookout for? I'm gonna spoil it. They going? I've been vegan. What they gonna invite plant-based always to the cookout for? That's cool. It ain't personal at all. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it goes back to, that's why I get the feeling of my blood. Like, if I can get realizations like this, nah, this shit real though. For real. For real. My bloodline is sacred. If I can get realizations like this and I can go through a transmutative, alchemical change, I know my bloodline later down the line, my kids, they're gonna be even more alchemists than me. They're gonna be more transformative than me. They're gonna get realizations even deeper than me. Especially where the human consciousness has to go with planetary wellness and the way things are shifting and the way the earth dying is gonna bring humanity together. What I'm saying right now is very prophetic. No, nobody, some people won't listen to those people that they call prophets in the scrolls and the scripts, in the holy scripts. Some people listened to them, some people didn't. Some people thought they was nuts. You know what I'm saying? But if your own philosophy is the best philosophy, because that's going off your intuition and what you feel is the God in you is speaking to you, guiding you to do. Word up. Feel good out here, man. I'm grateful, yo. I'm just grateful, you know what I'm saying? Made me be grateful for my connection to nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, as I said, that ladybug flew right in front of me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just it's a different flex, yo. It's a different flex, bro. It's a different type flex. I'm telling you. Word up. Get the feeling rich inside. Always understanding. You know, hold up. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell y'all a story right quick, right? Now, this is crazy. This is the time where God was sending me so many different signs through animals, yo, through nature, yo, to me directly. Let me tell you this shit, right? So, probably about 2021, me and my son, we was eating a lot of watermelon, right? I was staying with his mom. She stayed like kind of closer to the county, a little bit more wooded area. I would throw the rinds and the watermelon, I would throw them out to the little edge of the woods, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always did that, you know what I'm saying? That's just, intuitively, it's just something that you come into understanding how much you're connected to the earth essentials and how the animals, you know, they help you. They want to help you. They hear you. The animals are actually the ones that protect your house when you're not there. You know what I'm saying? If you have a good relationship with nature, nothing can be against you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, once you come into a higher, you know, eating more of the live foods, it connects you back with nature autotelically. Or it just does it, throwing it out to the woods. One day, I fell asleep on the couch one night, right? I had been doing that for a minute, though. Like, shit, for like 2 summers, I was doing that, you know what I'm saying, with the deer. And I would see them sometimes come eat. I would see the deer, they would come eat at the edge of they would come eat the water. I was like, yo, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to stay up all night. You know what I'm saying? That was around, like, you know, COVID time. It was crazy how I'd be up all night just, you know what I'm saying, like, getting my products together, what I'm doing, like, you know, when I'm working on my business. whatever, right? I'm up. Like, so the deers come out late night, eating around. I fell asleep on the couch one morning, right? One night. I woke up in the morning, right? It was like the break. Do a little meditation. My son, mama got a porch like this. When I go out to the porch, I kid you not. Listen, look. I'm walking to the door. I see this massive buck just crawl. But the way he doing it though, he was so close to me. The porch is smaller than this, so like, he mad close to me. But he just strutting. That big buck just strut. His antlers was about this huge coming out his head. He just strutting past the rail on the porch. Let me show. So her rail was like this. Look at this. So her rail was like that. But so he imagine the buck walking across he's walking across with it like with a fist, but closer by the trash cans. He walking right there, and I'm right there by the rail right there. So picture that. He right there, and the antlers like the antlers about like right there to my face for real, like right there. Like right there, bro. Straight up. I'm shocked as fuck. I'm just sitting there like, and it was like the crack break, like the little pink was coming through the morning. It was like break of dawn, right? And he just strutted past me. And it's like with every step he was like, and just walk right into, it was like a little another narrow corner, like when he like passed her house, and he just went into that narrow corner, so till I couldn't see him no more. And I was like, wow, was that like him saying thank you or something? Yeah, it was just me and the big ass buck. And it was like he was saying thank you. It's like he was trying to communicate with me, yo. I would never forget this, yo. I will never forget this, yo. I've had some of the most spiritual moments with animals, yo. And then when he did it, it was such a National Geographic site, bro. Like, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I never seen, this was massive. This buck was massive. This was a big buck, yo. I didn't know that was that big up close like that, bro. Maybe they don't get big like that, come on, normally. That was a big buck. So, I thought about it. I was like, you know what, God, Creator? You funny. You know what, the Creator, the infinite source. If you're doing right in your nature and by nature, and you really have pure intentions, and you really are doing things just because they have became you and what you're becoming, and you're not fighting, that's the true spiritual experience, because your personality transformation is going to allow you to open up your intuition to be able to see things that you never saw before. And it could have been right there in front of your face, but you just wasn't looking at it. You were just seeing it, but you weren't really looking at it. And I really, truly believe that that buck was telling me thank you for feeding his family. Or could you do it tonight for me? Really need it or enjoyed it. And man, I just never will forget that. That was just, I wish I could, I ain't gonna say I wish I could take pictures or video, because honestly, I'm glad that I captured that moment. and the energy of that moment for myself. That's something that don't need to be shared visually or just being there. That was something for me. I'm really thank you to the creator for that. Thank you for that. There was another time I was here at my house. Well, there's been several. I've gotten several different phone calls from the community that I live in. I used to be here by myself when my wife got here, and my neighbor called me like, "It's hella squirrels on your back porch. They just sitting on your back porch, and my cat always comes to your house. My cat always loves hanging out at your house. I don't know why. Hey man, I'm texting you. It's hella birds on your porch, man. I don't know. It's like they're just gathering up on your porch when you're gone." I used to get these texts all the time. But this is when I was at the house by myself though. Like when I was just solely by myself, like nobody else, just me. It was just me, like nobody else, not my kids, it was nobody. It was just me here, just me for like a year and a half. Like it was just me here, yo. And I would get these texts, yo. And I really feel like they were protecting me, yo. And they knew that they were welcome here. They knew that they were welcome here. They were welcome here, and they didn't tear up my stuff or nothing. They didn't eat my plants. They didn't tear my nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like it was just saying. But okay. But I say that to say this. So one day, I was coming out the crib. I opened the door. It was nighttime. Man, this white owl just fly. It's a tree right in front of my house. This white owl just flies into the tree right in front of my house. So the tree right in front of my house. The tree is right in front of my house. The owl, I see this white. So I come out the door. It's like, I'm like, whoa. So I come, but it's a little bit of feet from me, but it came in so hot. And then it was my tree in front, it sit right in front of my window. So when I come out the door, I see it. So then when I see it shoot by me, I'm like, damn, into the tree. And the tree right there in front of my window. So I'm like, what the world is that? It's nighttime. Was that a bat? I see this. But that owl was in the tree. That owl spun his head all the way around to look back at me at the door. And it was a white owl. And you know what I did? Turned my ass right back around and went right back in the house. Went to the kitchen and looked out the blinds. That shit was spooky. Yo, that shit was spooky. You hear me? Man, listen. I looked out the blinds, right? Because I was like, what the fuck? Bro, I ain't never seen no shit like that. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Man, that shit was, yo. So, I look at a blind. Those are some very spiritual experiences. Because owls, they be on the 360. Owls are on the 360. And you know, they use the owl, the wise owl, they use the owl for a lot of different symbolic reasons within the dark occultists too. Or some would call them that, the illuminated ones. When I looked out that window, the owl, when I looked out the blinds, the owl was still in the tree. It flew down off the tree onto my sidewalk that's in front of my house, like my walking way, flew down into my walking way on both feet. Did it again. Turned his head all the way around. And you know what I did? Closed the blind. I could not look that owl in the eye. I could not do it. I couldn't do it. I could not listen. I don't know what it was about looking that owl in the eye, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it. That was two of the most spiritual experiences that I've had with animals, yo. For real, yo. Like I just went in the living room and just sat down for like 30 minutes, bro. And just thought about life and my reality, bro. For real. Like I just for real, bro. Like that was like God, like what are you trying to okay, let me be quiet for a second. You trying to tell me something? Cause that was spooky. That was spooky. For real. But yeah, man, it was a good. Let me get off here, man. I just wanted to have another discussion like you. I want to put y'all on to that. I'm gonna send you that video too, family. Peace and words to the family.